Have you ever wondered what you would do if your faith was truly put to the test? Picture this. You're in a place where standing up for what you believe could cost you everything, even your life. Today, we're diving into the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, three men from the book of Daniel who teach us about standing firm in our faith under the most extreme circumstances. Buckle up, because this story is not only inspiring but downright astonishing. We're in ancient Babylon, a land of grandeur and military might, ruled by King Nebuchadnezzar. The landscape is dotted with towering ziggurats and bustling markets filled with trade goods from all over the world. In the midst of this bustling kingdom, the king makes an audacious move. He builds a colossal golden statue, 90 feet high and 9 feet wide. It's glistening, enormous, and a symbol of both his ego and his dominion. King Nebuchadnezzar orders that whenever the music of the horn, flute, zither, lyre, harp, pipe, and all other kinds of instruments play, everyone in the kingdom must bow down and worship this statue. Anyone who defies this command faces one unthinkable consequence: execution, by being thrown into a blazing, fiery furnace. Yes, you heard that right, a furnace so hot that getting close to it would singe your eyebrows. Now let me introduce you to the heroes in this epic showdown. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego are Jewish exiles brought to Babylon. Their remarkable loyalty to God had already set them apart in the king's service, but this new command brought them to a crossroads. Would they abandon their faith for safety? They stood tall, literally and figuratively, refusing to bow to any god but the one true God of Israel. When the news of their defiance reaches King Nebuchadnezzar, he is enraged. The Bible describes his reaction as furious with rage. He summons the three men and gives them one last chance to comply. But listen to this. Their response was beyond bold. They said, "King Nebuchadnezzar, we do not need to defend ourselves before you in this matter. If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God we serve is able to deliver us from it. But even if he does not, we want you to know, Your Majesty, that we will not serve your gods or worship the image of gold you have set up." Let that sink in for a moment. Their faith was unwavering, not because they were certain of a miraculous rescue, but because they trusted in God's sovereignty, whatever the outcome. Now comes the turning point. Nebuchadnezzar orders the furnace heated 7 times hotter than usual. His strongest soldiers tie Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego up and throw them into the fire fully clothed. The heat is so intense that the soldiers die as they approach the flames. But within seconds, an astounding sight leaves Nebuchadnezzar speechless. Peering into the furnace, he exclaims, "Weren't there 3 men that we tied up and threw into the fire?" His officials nod. "Look," he says. "I see 4 men walking around in the fire, unbound and unharmed, and the 4th looks like a son of the gods." Imagine being there to witness that. The king calls them to come out, and to everyone's amazement, they emerge unharmed, not even smelling of smoke. Nebuchadnezzar is so overcome that he praises their God, saying, "No other God can save in this way." From that day, their courage and faith sparked change in the kingdom. So here's the question. What does this story mean for you? Perhaps you're facing a challenge or trial that feels like a fiery furnace. Maybe it's a tough decision, a difficult relationship, or something you feel you need to stand up for despite the risks. The story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego reminds us that faith isn't about avoiding the fire. It's about trusting God to stand with us in it. Let this be your takeaway today. Faith, like fire, withstands the flames. Not because of our strength, but because of the God who stands beside us. Do not let fear extinguish your devotion. Stand firm just as they did, and you may be surprised at what God does through your steadfastness.